everyone, we are glad to be.
Hey, you forget to put on your mask.
I'm sorry.
Nowadays, COVID-19 is spreading all over the world and it's highly infectious.
Remember that wherever you go, wear a mask so that you can protect yourself and others.
Okay, let's start again. Hello everyone, we are glad to be here today. We'll talk about a study on the travel subsidy in Taiwan.
This is our outline. We have divided into 5 parts. There are the introduction, current welfare policies, questionnaire, conclusion, and references.
First, we'll start with introduction. There are 2 parts we want to talk about. It's emergency crisis and tourism striking. At the end of 2019, a serious pandemic, COVID-19, broke out. It comes from China and it caused a global catastrophe and economic decline. So the government forbade the citizens to go abroad.
Then, the citizens are afraid of going out to do anything, which leads to the tourism industry seriously shutting down. Most of the flying abroad have ceased, and cross-border business suspended, and so was the domestic transport, because it was still very serious.
Next, we'll illustrate our purposes and method. Speaking of purposes, we think that notions of traveling subsidized to citizens and Taiwanese opinions. In this way, we can understand what people think and improve our conclusions. We'll focus on Taiwanese tourism development to see if Taiwan's tourism industry can continue to flourish. Then, let's come to method. We conducted the questionnaires online to make it easier to investigate people's ideas, and also made some charts to analyze the data.
Second, we're going to introduce current welfare policies. There are the stimulus vouchers and travel subsidies. The stimulus voucher was released in July 2020. Its period will start from July to the end of September. As long as you're a Taiwanese, a foreign or land spouse who has a resident permit can receive it. There are 2 ways of receiving it, including a convenience stores and post office.
Then we'll talk about traveling subsidized. It was held from July 1st to October 31st in 2020. There are 2 projects, a self-guided tour and a tour trip. The government spent about 3,900 million NT dollars on it. It can be used on weekdays and weekends. As soon as you travel around Taiwan in the event period, you can get a discount on accommodation.
Now, let's talk about the details regarding the 2 projects. In the first part, we will introduce the subsidies, which are applicable to free travelers. If you stay at a hotel or B&B, you can get 1,000 NT dollar discount for 1 night with subsidies. It's available on weekdays and holidays. However, there are some restrictions. One necessary condition is that an ID card can only be used once. Besides, there is a special subsidy. It can only be used in the outlying island. Namely, everyone can use the subsidy twice, the main island and the outlying island.
In the second part, we'll introduce subsidies that are suitable for group tours. Today, we'll focus on basic group and outlying islands. If you travel in a basic group, each person can receive 700 NT dollars a day. But there are some limits on the number of people, which there should be at least 10 people in a group. The maximum amount that can be applied is 30,000 NT dollars.
While you travel in outlying islands, each person can claim 1,200 NT dollars, and the maximum amount can be applied is 70,000 NT dollars. There should be at least 15 people in the group. We conducted a questionnaire to inquire about people's ideas and to understand clearly. Here are the charts. First of all, we'll talk about pros of traveling subsidized. Based on the data, there are 3 points that people like most. With traveling subsidized, accommodation costs can be declined. Besides, the sightseeing can also be promoted, and everyone can apply for this subsidies.
Secondly, we'll talk about the cons of traveling subsidized. Look at the chart, you can see that revenge tourism is the worst thing that people think. countries around the world are suffering from COVID-19 and cannot go out at future. In contrast, Taiwan has done a very good job on disease preventing, so we can move freely and even travel. But now the revenge tourism is deeply revert to the environment. Dirty, pollution, destruction, and other issues resurfaced.
Thirdly, we will tell you how people want to travel in Taiwan. The main reason is that we can spend less money on transport. Indeed, the charge of airplanes or ships is more expensive than cars or trains. The second reason is that we can speak the same language, so that we wouldn't have the communication gaps.
Now we'll explore why people want to travel abroad. According to our research, foreign sceneries appeal to most people who want to travel abroad. Experiencing different cultures,
Prefer to travel in Taiwan rather than travel in abroad? Of course we do, since we have forbidden to travel abroad and need to go somewhere for relaxation. We will choose some places we haven't been to in Taiwan. On the other hand, COVID-19 is an opportunity for Taiwanese tourism.
Last is our conclusion. To proceed in tourism sustainable development, the government should come up with some special ideas so that the domestic tourism could get booming. And here are what we can do.
We think events can be held in the summer vacations or winter vacations, which can attract more families to go. In addition, the local government could conduct iconic activity in the popular attractions. For example, the firework festival is being held during the summer vacations. If there have a grand event being held, people would be attracted by the vast crowd. The interesting activity is important that people want a happy journey to unwind themselves.
when the summer vacation or winter vacation comes, the government can launch a traveling subsidy for students, and they can also hold an irregular price drawing from time to time.
For instance, accommodation coupons, discount coupons, and so on. With accommodation coupons, you can finance the cost of travel. In this way, people are willing to travel, and thus improve the hotel reservation rate.
In our opinion, domestic tourism is an important industry in Taiwan, so it should be promoted hard. The government has to make an effort to let citizens have aspiration on domestic aspirations.
This is our reference.
Thanks for listening.